Just because you're good at one thing does not mean you're good at everything. This is important for every business owner to accept and understand. We're talking about that and why perception is all that matters in marketing in this episode of Midwest Mindset. Welcome back to Midwest Mindset, the podcast that makes marketing easy to understand and simple to do. I'm your host, Matt Tompkins, here in the big chair. We have a newly revamped, new and improved Midwest Mindset. We have branded bottles of water. We have branded cups to pour the water into. We are not conserving plastic.
We made that water ourselves.
Yes, it's a filtration process that I'm actually doing right now while I'm hosting the show.
Oh,
yes.
wow.
All right, so we need to introduce everybody who's here on the show, everybody from the Two Brothers Creative Ensemble here. So first up, we have the man who's behind the scenes. He's running the switchboard. He's editing videos. Nobody can pronounce his name. He's the man who's never had a golden tan. He soars through the digital skies like a mythical creature of old. He's a master of puns, really bad puns.
They're pretty bad.
They're pretty bad. They're really bad. He doesn't just edit videos. He conjures them up with his weaving his digital skills, leaving you spellbound. If you haven't caught on yet, he's named after Merlin the Wizard, and his name is Myerden McHugh. Myerden in the control booth there. We didn't give Myerden a microphone, so you're not going to hear from him, and that's intentional. Next up we have the new guy on the crew. He's the newbie. What do we do? What do they call him? Like the rookie. He's the rookie.
The fish.
He's the
fresh fish.
Fish. Oh yeah.
That's what they say in prison.
Yeah.
Well, better than fresh meat.
And this is similar to prison.
Yes.
This company working here at least. So yes, we now present you a legend. He dwells on a homestead where apparently he has chickens, ducks, pigs, dogs, rabbits, who all dance in perfect harmony. I think he has some kids there too, right?
Yes.
I mean, you wrote this, so you just left your kids out of the mix.
I did.
I think you care more about the pigs than the chickens. He's no ordinary farmer. He's a maestro of multimedia. He's a video editing virtuoso. And you can tell Austin wrote his own intro because you're really talking yourself up here.
Wow.
You're like a month into this gig, and you're just like, I'm setting the bar high.
I was watching old videos of, like in the day from A Knight's Tale. And they really just talk up the intro, so I just went all out.
Okay, yeah. He's also, this is true, he actually challenged Piers Morgan to a shirtless showdown once. And I don't know that anyone in the world wants to see that. I don't know.
I probably have the only copy, because it's not online anymore. It's on VHS.
Is it really just you standing next to like an image of Piers with your shirt off?
So... oh man, this is a story. But anyways, I ripped off my shirt in front of 11.5 million people on America's Got Talent. Okay. And Nick Cannon goes, he's getting naked. And he's pointing. So I have a picture of my shirt open with Nick Cannon pointing at me.
Oh, wow.
And then I slapped my belly. I was like, you want some of this, Piers? It all happened right before I went on stage. The producer handling me said, by the way, Piers Morgan doesn't like stand-up comics before I perform live
Good.
on America's
good motivator.
channel. And then, so that's where it all went down.
Well, he's British.
Yes.
So
next up we have the other brother of the two brothers. There are two brothers here at Two Brothers, and the other one, his name, I'll get to his name here in a second. He's a man who adores his cat.
Yeah.
He swears he's plotting world domination, Dominion over the domination. I think that's how it works.
That's my
Old
cat
Dominion.
is.
Yeah.
Yes.
His cat is. I think Ben is too. He has the ability to fall asleep anywhere. At any time.
That's true.
So watch out for that. If there's a moment of silence, he's probably taking a nap. He can also bend his fingers all the way back like a fresh pretzel. Mm-hmm. Yes, that's
how I got my wife to go on a second date.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what did it. Give it up for Ben Tompkins, everybody. Ben Tompkins,
Hi.
Austin Anderson, Myerden McHugh.
I feel like my intro wasn't anywhere near as hyped up.
It was.
As
I
yours,
think it was
Austin.
pretty. Well, Ben, here's the thing.
It gets weird in here. I didn't want to read all of it because it got really intimate and weird, and I'm like, I don't know.
Ben wrote his though too. I asked him what he wanted in it.
Okay, all right. Yeah, he's a man who penned a rock opera that highlights the very moment dinosaurs met their fiery end. That's actually true.
That is
That's
very
what he
true.
told me to put in there.
That's true. Why would you not include that, Matt? Why would you skip over that?
Because that's all you ever talk about is this musical maestro about dinosaurs. Until you release it to the world, We can't talk about it.
Love, lore, and dinosaurs.
Let's get to what matters here. Today we're talking about just because you're good at one thing doesn't mean you're good at everything. All right, I want to ask you guys a question here. Herschel Walker, Herman Cain, Ben Carson. What do they all have in common?
They're all Republicans.
Nope, that's not it.
They all had one profession and then went into politics?
Nope, that's not it. Come on, guys.
They're all black.
Ben!
Well, they are.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But no. No, they are all good at one thing, and they tried to do something else and were horrible at it. All right, do you remember like Herschel Walker? He just ran for, these are all politicians, but Herschel Walker ran for office. He's an incredible football player.
Oh, yeah.
I would not want him running a McDonald's, let alone a state in our country. Herman Cain, Ben Carson. Remember Herman Cain? He was the Godfather's guy.
Yeah.
Ben Carson, a neurosurgeon. He's a neurosurgeon. And you think we attach this false credibility to people when they're really good at one thing. We do it to ourselves as well. So with Ben Carson, he's a perfect example. He's a neurosurgeon. He must be smart at everything. You know, we do this with money. People have lots of money. They must be good at everything. Let's listen to their advice. It usually does not end well. It doesn't end well. And so we do this with ourselves as well when it comes to running our business, and especially with marketing our businesses, because we assume, okay, well, I got a video to go viral, or I got a bunch of views or likes, or hey, I'm on all these social platforms. Obviously, I know what I'm doing when it comes to marketing. Or even just in this general business sense, we say, okay, well, I had a good idea here. That means every other idea or business venture I'm going to have, like I'm really good with this cat pet store that I have. I'm going to open up a Taco Bell. Like those are two completely different things that require two completely different skill sets. Although now that I say that, I wonder if Taco Bell
makes their tacos from cats?
Yeah, because if you spell taco backwards, it's cat.
Cat.
Oh, that's true.
Okay.
Sometimes I mean, I love Taco Bell. Sometimes I go there, I think it smells like cats.
You're not allowed near my cat anymore now, Matt. Which one of those was the pizza guy?
Herman Cain. He was the Godfathers. He had the whole 999 thing. It was like 9%. So I don't even remember what it was, but like,
It was like a tax plan.
We do this all the time. It's hard not to do it to yourself because you get good at one thing. And especially if you're like really, really good at one thing, you know, our egos get in the way. And so we get this false confidence in ourselves. And this happens a lot with like just running a business, because business owners will chase down ideas and we will not let them go, even though we know that it's a bad idea. We know it's a losing idea. Sometimes you just have to cut your losses and you have to say, listen, this didn't work. All right.
You think you have to be honest with yourself about what you're good at and then just be able to say no? Because I think that, like in Herschel Walker, I bet someone came up to him and said, you know what, you would be great in politics. And then they start going, you know what, I think I would be too. You know, so if you have people approaching you and asking you to do other ventures, you kind of got to have your ego in check, and then also be able to say, no, this is what I'm good at. I'm gonna stick with this.
But then
you think that's part of it?
Part of it also is that some of those, like in those cases, some characteristics that help you build a good business might apply to being a good politician also. So it's easy to maybe buy into that idea. I don't know if with football, with Herschel Walker, I mean, I guess the discipline, the dedication that it takes to be a standout athlete, you could apply some of those characteristics to politics. But with running a business, you saw that with Trump. Everyone equates that he's this great business person. That means he can run the country, because running the country is just like running a business. So of course there's some things that are not true, but there probably are things that are true about that too. I mean,
well, there are characteristics and qualities that make any one person successful. Like, you know, okay, I'm gonna have dedication. Discipline is probably the hardest trait for any success in any industry and anything you do. Who's gonna have the discipline to get up every day, 2 a.m. and work out, and every single day? You're obviously Ben is the example
I
of
would
that
say
here.
that too. Discipline is the hardest thing to master in all areas of life.
It is. So there are core characteristics, but this gets to something else that's at the core of marketing, and it's truly what marketing is all about. And it is the number one reason that I love marketing, because marketing is life. And so you mentioned Trump as a perfect example. All that marketing is perception, right? So in the sense of business, like you're good at one thing, that doesn't mean you're good at everything. And it's going to be a major mistake if you're a business owner to just assume I'm good at everything, right? Well, I'm good at even the thing you're good at. Oftentimes business owners are terrible at for themselves. Like for marketing people who are really good for doing marketing for other clients are usually bad at it for themselves, right? They don't walk the walk, they don't follow up with what they tell people to do. But marketing is all about perception. And so we have these perceptions, and politics is just pure marketing. That's all that marketing is. The facts do not matter, and they never have mattered. We always try and convince ourselves that the facts matter, but they don't. And so Trump is a perfect example of a guy who he literally checks off every single law in the 22 Immutable Laws of Marketing, which is a great book. You should read that if you want to nerd out about marketing. He checks off every single one. It doesn't matter whether or not he's really a billionaire, whether or not he's really a success, whether or not he's gone bankrupt several times, which he has. It doesn't matter. All that matters is the perception. And he established that perception. He was, in the law of marketing, he was first in the mind of his prospect being the American citizens. And he did that with The Apprentice. So he was first in the mind as a success, as a billionaire, as a person who makes the big decisions, makes the big call. He's in the big chair at the top of the building. And that's why people attached that to him.
With his name on the building.
Forever. Yeah, with his name literally on the building.
In gold.
That's why people will always, you will never shatter that. And that's an important thing to understand when you're on the inside looking out. You need to be able to look at yourself and be honest, because let's be honest, it's just you, right? You know you suck at something.
Austin.
You know you're good at something. Austin.
That's what this is really about. This
is where it pivots.
This is where it turns.
We have to talk to you.
We need to talk. You're fired, to quote Trump. No. So it's important to be like honest with yourself internally, because we let our egos get in the way, right? And we know, last night I was having a conversation with my two dogs, Barley and Teddy, and I'm like, they were making some great points. It's like just about observations in my life about, okay, maybe
I've heard this thing with the son of Sam too when I read his book. Go ahead.
I just haven't killed anybody yet. No, but I do. I have full. I don't care. I talk to myself out loud. I have full conversations with my dogs. But it's just nice. It's therapeutic, because I'm like, you know what? You're right, Barley. I did let my ego get in the way when I made that decision. That's a good observation. And you have to keep yourself in check. And if you're not being honest with yourself, you can't be honest with anybody else. You're not going to be honest about your business. It's just going to hurt you more than anything. So there's that kind of internal component. But externally, it's important to understand marketing is all about perception. And this proves the point. On the outside looking in, the public doesn't know shit. They don't know anything. They see Herman Cain. They see Ben Carson. They see Herschel Walker. I'm sorry, I'm just thinking of all the crazy things Herschel Walker said. But they attach the perception of success and authority. And once you've done that, you're first in the mind of your prospect, you cannot shake it. And that's why you'll never shake somebody who loves Trump. You'll never shake somebody who loves Biden. You're never going to win an argument based on the facts, because the facts don't matter. Not just in politics or news, but just in marketing, anywhere. The facts only matter internally when you're looking at the numbers. When you're marketing, all that matters is the perception. And this proves you just because you're good at one thing doesn't mean you're good at everything. But to the public, they can't distinguish. They can't distinguish what you're actually good at.
Well, a really good example that popped into my mind is that the first televised debate of all time between JFK and Nixon. Nixon was hideous and sweating and had fake makeup.
Yep.
And JFK, charismatic, handsome, all that. And then right after the debate, there was newscasters and people going, "Oh, well, this has never happened. We just elected our president after the first debate." Because the perception was this guy's got it all. JFK has all the looks, He's just perceived.
And it took a lot of work, an assassination, a president stepping down for Nixon to even have a chance of getting back to where he wanted to get. It is so much work to try and change the narrative that is already established in a prospect's mind. So much work, so much money. Everybody says first impressions matter, first impressions last forever. That is true, and it's true in marketing, especially on social media. The content you put out, the post you put out, the perception of you that you put out, it matters, because that's the perception somebody may have of you forever. And you may never be able to change that. So when you're thinking like, I'll just do it the cheap way, the quick way, I'll just do this cheap, quick thing, throw it up, have it be done. I don't care. We'll, learn how to fly the plane later. Well, you may not have a plane later, and you're going to literally sell yourself short out of potentially millions and millions of dollars in the long run here, just because you're not sticking to this core element. Perception is all that matters. Perception is everything, and you have to be honest with yourself. I think internally, like, just because you're good at one thing doesn't mean you're good at everything. And we've seen this with, just not in with clients we work with necessarily, but just across the board. You have so many people think that they're great at marketing, and they don't really even understand what marketing is. They don't even understand how important it is, that it's the core essential foundation to growing any business.
Like when you're talking with someone, a client or a business owner, and you're trying to explain marketing and you know that they don't really get it, but they feel like they do, what do you say to them to kind of...
You have to describe it, and you have to kind of... It is hard because it's like we see all the tactics of marketing. We see all the tactics, like social media is a tactic, Facebook is a tactic, Instagram is a tactic, social media is a tactic, SEO is a tactic. All these things are tactics. And what muddies the water is we start talking about, we mistake a tactic for a strategy, and we think, what's your marketing strategy? Well, I'm posting on Facebook 3 times a week. Well, that's not a strategy. That's just something you're doing. That's an action you're taking. And so it is tough because people also assume marketing is your sales. People think, I'm going to spend money on marketing, I'm going to make money, and it's just going to come in. Like, I'm going to have customers walking in the door. But if you don't have sales, if you don't have a way to onboard this or take advantage of this pump that has been primed, that's what marketing really is. Marketing is there to get you discovered, build awareness, build relationships and trust. It is priming the pump so that you can make the sales. That is really what marketing is. And so, that's why that perception is what matters, the overarching, key component there. But people often mistake it as this something that it just isn't. And I think that hurts businesses probably more than not doing anything, is assuming it's one thing and then investing a lot of time and resources in that one thing and having it not produce results. Because, you can't grow your business, any business, without marketing. Because marketing, even referral, word of mouth, that's referral marketing. Like, people have to know you exist. They have to discover you. They have to know, like, and trust you to want to do business with you, right? So you're not marketing yourself.
And like your business, if you obviously plan on having a business for your entire life, maybe passing it along to your kids, marketing never stops. It's a continuous thing. And it's for the life of your business. And you guys have radio background, so do I, and I sold radio for a while. And I would have to explain that to potential clients that, like, you see Coca-Cola commercials, right? Well, everyone on earth knows who Coca-Cola is. And you would think that they wouldn't need to advertise, but they still do. Relentless. They spend billions of dollars on it. Because I would have people telling me like, oh, everyone in the community already knows who we are. Mm-hmm. Everyone already knows that we're here. It's like, all right, well, everybody knows that Coca-Cola is a soda. But
and you get to a point where it's like you need to be discovered, and then you have to remind people that you exist. It's just staying present in their lives. Yeah. How many times have you if I said to you, like, hey, recommend the best burger joint in Omaha, and I give you 1 second to answer, you'd throw out something probably Wendy's, McDonald's, Burger King, and then you would stop and like, well, wait a minute, that's not the best burger. That was just the first thing that came to mind because they're the ones who are in your mind. They're ones staying present.
They got that real estate.
And so, I think, marketing, it's like your clothes, it's going to evolve. Not one action or one thing lasts forever. There is no such thing as set it and forget it. People are bombarded with literally thousands of ads every single day. And let alone all the content that we consume. Average American spends anywhere from 2 to 6 hours per day on average on social media alone. So just think about how much they are consuming, and then how are you breaking through that noise? How are you establishing the perception, even if it's an accurate perception, of what your business is, right, for these people? So you can't just set it, forget it. You can't just sit there and you can't get high on the hopium drug and just hope this is going to work,
Yeah,
everybody loves hopium.
I've been doing this wrong this entire time, then, Matt.
What's your business?
My cat tree store is. I'm not doing it right. I'm not. I've just.
You have a cat tree store?
I build my own cat trees for cats to climb.
So
on.
why is a cat tree important? Sell me a cat tree.
Because it's extremely comfortable to sit on with you and your cat. It gives you.
You perch on the cat.
It's a human and cat tree.
See, you
got the nid.
I'm the first.
You've established a new category to be first in. That's what you've done.
But now I just need to change the perception of what everybody thinks a cat tree is.
Yeah.
They think it's just for a cat, but it really could be for a human too. But to that point, and Trump's a great example of this, of the perceptions. I mean, you say be honest. There with Trump is kind of the opposite of being honest, and he's also the opposite of somebody who doesn't. He says he's good at everything.
Yeah, no, that's right.
And that perception is you can change the perception. I think you can use the perception to your advantage, but you can also manipulate people with that too. And as a business, you have to decide what avenue do you want to take, and then also as a marketing company, it's extremely easy to take advantage of businesses,
which most unfortunately do. I mean, we are surrounded by snake oil salesman types in the marketing industry because of those things. It is because that's, manipulation. It's usually seen as a negative thing, but that's really what we're doing all the time. That's all perception is. We market ourselves every day. When I walk up with a smile and I shake your hand and I say, "Oh, how are you doing? You look great today, Ben." I'm manipulating. I want to have a good impression. You to have a good impression of me. I don't really think you look good.
I say that every morning.
I do.
It's the highlight of my day.
And now, so now that it's nothing but lies.
And there's also with the politics, all politics is, as I said, it's all marketing, and even though Trump, you're right, like there are mistruths across the board with politics, and Trump is probably most notorious for this, of just blanket, just wildly
exaggerated
statements, but that is the perception, is that he's just like sticking it to the man. That's the image and the character that he has crafted over the years. And so there is a truth to it. He stays consistent to his truth, even though all the things he's saying maybe aren't the truth. And the problem with politics, people get in there and they need marketing experts to come in and just tell them, quit arguing the facts, because nobody buys anything or makes any decision based on the facts. We use our feeling brain, not our thinking brain, to make these decisions. And when you are arguing to the facts, somebody who has an emotional attachment, I'd be like, Ben, your cat has attacked you literally 12 times. You had to go to the emergency room because your cat bit him in the finger, and they had to do a whole a IV treatment
for a while.
Yes.
Cat teeth are full of nasty bacteria.
Dude, cat teeth terrify me.
And then the wound seals shut afterwards. But Ben is still with the cat. Why? Because he has an emotional attachment.
It's my grandma's cat.
The cat doesn't have teeth anymore, but
it doesn't. I lost 11 of them.
You had a pull.
Ben had to pull them out.
It just gums me now.
All right, thanks for joining us here today on Midwest Mindset. The key takeaway here today: just because you're good at one thing does not mean you're good at everything. Just because Ben is good at building human cat trees does not mean that he's good at building dog parks.
Well, you haven't seen a dog park that I've made.
If you're struggling with your marketing and you're sick of social media, just stop and let us do it for you. With the Easy Box, you give us 30 minutes, we give you 30 days of content. It is marketing made easy. Check out the link in the show notes here today of this episode. We made that easy too. You can just click it. All it requires is one finger.
You don't even have to use a finger match. You can use any body part.
You can use any body part to click on the link right now.